you, Mr. Chairman. I move to strike the requisite words.
The gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I rise today in strong opposition to H.R. 2610. This bill, which was crafted to conform to the strangling and senseless limits of the Ryan budget, would cut the total discretionary funding for the transportation HUD appropriations measure by $7.7 billion below that enacted fiscal year 2013 appropriation, and by more than $4 billion below the level of funding provided after sequestration took effect. These cuts would devastate programs like the Community Development Block Grant Program and the Home Program, which are essential to supporting development in cities throughout our nation and to providing housing and other services to our most vulnerable citizens. This bill would also be devastating to our national passenger rail service, Amtrak, and that is the specific issue I will address today. The bill before us would cut the capital grant provided to Amtrak by some $352 million and cut the operating grant by $119 million below the enacted fiscal year 2013 levels. Such cuts would likely force Amtrak to reduce its maintenance levels and furlough maintenance personnel. Such cuts may even lead to reduced service on the new Northeast Corridor, the critical link on the eastern seaboard among Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York, and Baltimore. In their views on the transportation HUD appropriations measure, the minority noted that this bill is out of touch with reality, and that it is nowhere more evident than in the proposed funding level for Amtrak. While the House majority has undertaken a relentless effort to destroy Amtrak, the traveling public is clear. They consider Amtrak to be an essential part of our nation's transportation network. Amtrak finished fiscal year 2012 having carried more than 31 million passengers, the highest number of passengers in any year since Amtrak was created. This total included more than 11 million passengers who traveled on the Northeast Corridor. Together, the long-distance routes had their highest passenger volumes in 19 years, and Amtrak set 12 consecutive monthly ridership records during fiscal year 2012. To put this number in perspective, if Amtrak were an airline, it would be the 6th largest in the country. Americans have voted with their ticket purchases, and they are choosing to ride Amtrak in greater numbers. In fact, record ridership growth is continuing in fiscal year 2013. Rather than seeking to destroy a service critical to our nation's mobility, we should be investing in this system to ensure it can continue to meet increased passenger demand with increased speed and efficiency. Significant infrastructure improvements are needed all along the Northeast Corridor to create truly high-speed rail service. In Maryland, for example, the BMP Tunnel, which carries every train traveling into Washington, D.C. from all points north of the city, must be replaced. This tunnel was opened in 1873, and its antiquated design limits train speeds to 30 miles per hour. We would not think of relying on technology from the 1870s in other aspects of our lives. We wouldn't want medical technology or communications technology from the 1870s, and we should not be content to rely on transportation infrastructure from the 1870s. The President has rightly threatened to veto this bill, and rather than waste the House's time on legislation like this that threatens to degrade our transportation network to delay passengers and commerce, we should be considering bills that will make long overdue investments to expand our mobility and support our economic growth. Rather than cutting investments in Amtrak, we should be investing in the development of truly high-speed rail on the Northeast Corridor and throughout these United States. And before we consider this or any other appropriations measures, the House and Senate should follow regular order by appointing conferees who can resolve a budget that can be adopted by both bodies and that can then guide the development of appropriations measures for fiscal year 2014. I urge members to oppose this misguided legislation, and with that, Mr. Chair, I yield back.